Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And this is a board gaming podcast where we talk about board games and where I attempt, once again, to pour a crowler without spilling.
No, it's
the third time, Adrian.
what kind of beer is that?
This is Westbound and Down Collab IPA.
Yeah, you can just throw that mat away now. It's been tainted.
I mean, I'll just keep
Nope,
it.
I know. Throw it away, burn it, and then throw it away.
It's a cold IPA, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I tried to ask them what a cold IPA was, and they had no answer.
That does not surprise me, to be honest.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nonsense term.
Yes.
But then my question is, then if they're like, okay, and here's our collab hot IPA,
I will not be drinking a hot IPA.
Yeah.
would it be just like when things were introduced or something like that?
Yeah, that's all I can imagine.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I know they've changed.
I'm just imagining a piping hot cup of IPA now.
Just like put it in a tea. Pour a crowler of IPA into a tea kettle.
Exactly.
And just get it nice and boiling.
Yeah.
Mm.
What you do is you get it, instead of a tea bag, it's just a IPA bag. You put it hot water, and then
I mean, they make.
Now, see, that actually sounds like that might work.
They make
steep hops, hop tea. Yeah, totally.
They make hop tea now.
Yeah, totally.
I didn't say tea. I said it's just an IPA in a bag that you just put hot water in, and then it turns into that.
No.
Yeah.
Does it have? It has all the yeast and stuff in there,
No,
ready to go.
No, it's just got dried alcohol in it that you just sort of
rehydrate.
Yeah, it's dehydrated alcohol in there. It's fun.
Dehydrated ethanol.
Yep.
Which kind of already evaporates.
They collected very carefully.
Yes. They have changed up our IPA process to where they're doing something at like all the same temperature now instead of like a hot and cold phase in somewhere in there. I don't know, somewhere in the cellars. I have no idea what it really is.
Interesting.
But they changed it up a little bit this time.
Okay.
So we'll see what
See how that pans out.
Yeah, it's just a process change.
Okay.
Not really a recipe change.
Hey, sometimes the process more important than the recipe.
Yeah, that's very true.
I've definitely, in my home brewing escapades, used the exact same recipe on 3 different beers and had them come out 3 entirely different ways because not a lot of consistency in home brewing, at least on my level.
No.
It's like I'm sitting out back smoking a cigar while I'm brewing one day and maybe like a little bit of ash gets in the beer and that just, is the right pH mixture or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what makes it the right pH mixture.
Hey, you never know. Subtle changes.
Mm-hmm.
I did recently go through the CIP process at our brewery with one of our cellarmen.
Oh, yeah?
I was, just curious.
What's CIP?
Clean in place.
Ah.
It was the process started that was developed in the 50s to where you didn't have to break down every single little tiny material in the brewing process to clean it. And then you could do a chemical process to clean in place.
Okay.
Which is why it's called CIP.
Neat.
And that's your caustic, your acid, your sanitizer, sani. The Germans call it Desi because
they don't use the word sanitary. They
that's
use
just
the German.
Yeah, it's just what it is in our system is DESI.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, on that,
it's a neat process. This Avery is a beer factory, and they do some cool stuff.
So this is like the engagement period, right? Not the banter.
Yes.
So now that everyone's well and truly engaged,
yes,
let's talk about board games.
Okay.
So we'll start off. I don't have it on the shelf. Like I like to point at what we streamed last week, but I don't have it because Zach rudely took it home because it's his game. And
you didn't tell me to bring it, so
I know I forgot. But we played Civilization: A New Dawn. Traders and Barbarians? No, that's a Catan expansion. I totally lost it.
Terra Incognita.
Terra Incognita, that's right. So I actually played this twice last week, so I'm going to kind of talk about both. But I'm going to talk about the stream first because that's what we do talk about first in what we've been playing. So last Friday we streamed Civilization: A New Dawn, Terra Incognita, the 3 of us, and it went well. I managed to win,
you did,
which I was not expecting.
Because you were complaining at first, and then you should have known that it was coming.
See, but I don't feel like I ever complained like, oh, I'm definitely losing, or oh, I don't stand a chance at winning. Like, it was different complaints. There was different grumbles. But yeah.
And the expansion came out 3 years after the base game.
Everyone had given up. We had certainly given up. When we reviewed Civ New Dawn a long time ago, we were like, man, this needs some expansions. And then 3 fucking years later, they're like, oh, hey, let's actually do that.
Was it 17 and 20?
Yep.
Okay.
I
didn't realize that came out 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember any like major highlights in the game itself. Jeff definitely, he was Polynesia, and so he kept jumping over.
I was not Polynesia. I was the Netherlands.
Netherlands, the other island hoppy water using bitches.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that apparently me saying bitch is worth a tractor
That's 2.
now. But yeah, so Jeff, was it a Netherlands ability or one of your city state abilities that let you, when you traded with us, you could set up a city within a legal spot within range?
That was my Civ tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
my actual ability was districts could use water as any terrain type.
That's right.
Water was wild for my districts.
That's right. So yeah, you popped your city on my end right where I was like going to build a city on my next turn, and you were like, no, this is my spot now. And it was an objectively good spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was like the only spot that it could happen.
Yeah.
And then I got the Wonder that adds an extra 6 movement, kind of like that you can split up as you need it
Yeah.
to each of your trading things. So I could have one just go 12 spaces
Yeah,
if
just-
I wanted to. Yeah.
Light speed trader tech.
Yeah. So the more I could trade, the more I could get
Yep.
free cities. But everything was locked up by like how the forts were placed, where the city states were. There was not actually a lot of good city placement in this game.
And I know for like mine, it was hard to come trade with me because I was fucking surrounded by mountains.
Yeah, Zach found a mountain range and decided to use it as like the Great Wall of what civ were you?
China.
Were you actually?
Yes, I
Okay,
was.
well, there you go. See.
But then also because of the board placement and how things were put up, I was also like, man, I do not have many places to put cities at all. This is frustrating.
Yeah. I was Nubia, and for a good chunk of the game, I forgot that we weren't playing the game from Wednesday night, and that I didn't need to get a city on a bunch of different tiles.
Yeah.
So I was definitely focused on that for a little bit, and I was like, oh wait, no, what am I doing? This is not.
That's not even an objective.
This is a waste of time and energy. Let's
Yep.
focus on other things. I ended up winning. Like I said, the key thing for me in winning, though, like, and part of why I didn't expect to win, and I didn't feel like I was winning, I thought that the one objective was to have control tokens next to the edge of the board or water tiles. And no, it was just have any of your pieces. So all of my cities counted. And
it wasn't next to, 15 empty spaces and 15 water tiles. It was just
15 of either.
But it wasn't
15 total.
The
either
spaces you
counted.
were on were the ones that had to be 15.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You needed 15 spaces
Yes.
that touched one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if one space touched, like, I had one space that was touching like 3 water and the edge of the board or something, that only counts as one of those 15 spaces.
But then also, if you had 3 that touched the same water tile, that still counts.
Yeah, those all 3 would count.
Yeah.
So
I know for me, I definitely had a chance to, right before you won, to attack your fort, which is the
Yes.
only way that I could have prevented you from taking it on your turn. But honestly, for whatever reason, like I was looking at that card and I was just like, all right, well, I don't have to worry about that because Adrian does not even have 1 purple wonder, so I'm safe there.
Oh,
Just for whatever reason, I didn't my brain didn't register the top one, which was the 15 spaces. But it's funny because I would still look at my board and be like, man, I still only have like 9. So it's going to take a while to get those 15 spaces. But it was, yeah. So you ended up winning and I started that. So Jeff was able to get second on the last thing of the game because you couldn't stop him because you had just attacked.
No, yeah, and I was very pathetic with my single 1 attack at the time.
Yeah.
I probably would have had a decent go at it because I had pretty powerful cards
Yeah.
from the diplomacy, all of the traders I had sent out.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then it was just like, well, I'm just gonna put down some culture tokens and get the 15 as well, and then
That's all you can do sometimes.
Yep, and then at least lock myself into second place.
Yep.
Built a bunch of wonders. Some of the one wonder was like super not useful in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It was one that let you replace your focus cards, which are your like actions. And so you could replace one of your actions with just
A different one.
another one of a different type.
So you could have like 2 attacks or
Two
basically it was
science or
everything
2
except for like you couldn't replace the science or something like that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly what it was, but yeah, something that wouldn't. Yeah, you couldn't replace technology with 2 techs or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be like too powerful. But then Adrian just took the city from me, and it didn't matter. But I didn't care because I had already scored to have the 2 anyways.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's like good.
Which
And I was like, all right, here's the card, and then you read it, and I just saw you go, pff, whatever.
yeah. Well, and it was one of those things too. Like it weirdly made me feel better that I wasn't taking a score away from you. Like, oh, this doesn't. Maybe Jeff won't be as upset at me for.
Yeah.
I don't know, which was a weird feeling to
Yeah.
have there. But,
My other wonder was just like, get a city at the edge of the board, not next to any other people. It was like an Arctic research station or something like that.
yeah, I had 2 blue ones that were both just like tech up advances. The first one was like replace 3 level 1s with level 2s, and then the next one was replace 2 techs with the next higher tier of tech. So I was able to tech up pretty quick.
That would have been very nice for me. I didn't do much tech this game.
I was rocking a lot of level 4s there right at the very end.
I was too.
Yeah, well, that was one of the objectives. So
Yes.
that,
That's what I was going for.
that
Well,
happens.
one of the things I was like, I could go for either one of these 2.
Yeah.
It's nice when on at least one of those 3 cards, you're like, either one of those are easy for me to achieve.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we also played it Wednesday at game night.
Yeah, to introduce the expansion to you.
Yes, because I had not played the expansion yet. That one was a 4-player game. We played with Lance and Wes.
Yes.
Wes joined in right at the last possible minute that he could swoop in there.
And he had already played the expansion, so it wasn't
He
like
played it the only other time I assume you've played.
correct.
The
Yes.
expansion.
Yeah.
So it was easy enough to be like, hey, just like open up the map a little bit, put the stuff, and then he was just ready to go. We didn't have to teach him anything. So if someone else had been like, hey, do you have a spot? It'd have been like,
No.
Yeah, we had like random people come by because that was at game night. We had like one random guy who just happened to be there. He wasn't there for game night, and he was like, "Oh, Civilization." He's like, "Is this like the computer game?" And it's like, "Actually, yes.
Yes,
This is based very much off the computer game."
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think there's 2 or 3 other board games that are based off the
Civ board game.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure are.
because Advanced Civilization is not
Not
board game.
technically.
theme or not PC game themed.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah.
But I think it's heavily inspired by.
Yes.
Zach, you won on Wednesday.
I did. That one was a lot more about having the cities out.
Yeah.
I was like having 4 mature cities in on
City
4.
with stuff surrounding it.
Yeah, all of your stuff surrounding it.
Or water.
Or
the edge of the
yeah,
board.
Yeah. But basically like yours or just landmark stuff. But it was 4 mature cities on 4 separate tiles, which luckily the fort counts as that.
Yes.
Um,
Which you ended up winning by taking my fort from me.
Yes,
and
I did.
scoring the 2 fort.
the 2 fort thing, yeah. Because that's the forts are a new thing in the expansion that actually allow you to stop somebody else from winning because they have to. Because you have to have 4 out of the 5 victory conditions.
Yes.
That means at a minimum you have to have 1 fort, so you can stop somebody from having the fort.
Indeed.
But it was. I mean, I enjoyed it at game night. I enjoyed it when we were playing here. What did you think about 3-player versus 4-player? Because that opens up the center map
a little.
Well, it opens up twice as much because with 3 people you put 2 map tiles. With 4 or 5 people you put 4 of the tiles out.
Yeah. I didn't notice much for me. It didn't stand out as being tighter or.
It felt the same regardless at 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It wasn't something that I noticed.
Gotcha.
Like now that you pointed out and I think about it, it's like, yeah, okay, I can kind of see that. Like especially I don't know. I feel like some of it feeling tighter at 3 with the less tiles also had to do with the way those tiles came out and like you having the wall of mountains that made it next to impossible to get through.
And there just also being a lot of water around too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think with the way things expand and grow on that board anyway, the 2 tiles don't make a huge difference. At least nothing that stood out to me. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you explore, which I like that they added that into the game. Zach mentioned it's like you're exploring. You're not pushing into the center as much as you are just expanding outwards. So you're not always getting like closer, and it's not like those center map pieces are particularly like juicy.
Yeah.
That you would want to go on them anyways. So it's kind of hard to be like if there was more cool stuff in the center, like natural wonders or like
some sort of like capital city or something,
or more chunks of resources or something like that would want you to actually like move towards the middle and expand outwards. That would be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I do like how that they at least added exploration.
Yeah, the exploration makes the map itself a lot better, but it is sort of annoying that you are going from that inside out now versus the outside in.
Yeah, that works for me, especially with the change to troops to where it's actually more combat now. Like, your troops can still go fight in the middle, and especially having the forts, I think, still encourages that little bit of fighting.
Yes, it does.
So I don't mind having the exploring out. It's more like, because it reminds me more of how I play Civ, the base game anyway, where I am trying very hard to carve off an entire island that is just me and not let anybody on. I'm an isolationist when I play Civ.
I see.
So.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. No one else on my land. My land for me. Yeah. I enjoyed it more, I think, at 3. I enjoyed our stream of it more than the other one. I don't know if that had anything to do with the player count. So just I was more familiar with it, and I was in a much better headspace because, as I'll talk about in Banter, I was concerned that I was getting laid off the next day when I was playing on Wednesday. So I actually finished that game, and I was like, all right, guys, my head is not in the right spot. I'm leaving game night.
Yeah.
That's when Ashley was like, yeah, you guys are going to be here Monday too, right?
Yeah. Apparently they have a different board game night that meets on Mondays.
Okay.
It's a much smaller one, she said.
No, it'd have been great though if you're like, no, that's not us. Just cancel it, please. But so what else have you played, Adrian? Because
so I've played 2 other things. Another stream that happened on this Twitch channel. The Mile High Dungeon Delvers. We've been doing one-shots while Clue prepares for the start of Campaign 3, which will actually be on Thursday. So either the day you're listening to this or like yesterday or maybe 2 days, who knows.
Are you guys moving?
We're moving to Thursdays.
Really?
For the summer. So every other Thursday.
Okay. Well, enjoy. Okay. All right.
What?
Just a lot of movie premieres come out on Thursday nights. So.
Oh, I know. I am already not thrilled about a few different aspects of it. It is not my favorite thing, but Allison and Clue have a kid now, and that is the night that they were able to get a sitter.
Gotcha.
They were like, or we could do Friday nights. And I was like, I work 6 a.m. and also Friday night streams are also kind of spoken for. So no.
Yeah.
So Thursdays instead. And Megan then immediately went, well, what the fuck? That's like the middle of your weekend. It's going to make it hard to go camping. I was like, it's every other week, and we don't even go camping once a month, so it'll be okay. At least until winter when snowboarding starts back up. But that's a problem for future, Adrian.
It's only just summer.
Yeah, it's only just summer.
Look, you don't have to worry about that. It's 116 degrees in Portland. You don't need to worry about snow here.
There might not ever be snow again.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so we've been doing one-shots. Well, then a bunch of people had some scheduling things come up and everything, so we only had 3 of the crew. And so instead of trying to find a RPG that could play 3 players effectively, which I guess there are some, when I mentioned that, some people were like, oh, well, you should have tried one of these. But anyway, we decided to play a RPG light style board game. And previously, Zach had dropped off Tales for the Arabian Nights for us to do just that on a different stream.
Which Jeff and I did, right?
It was a 2-player stream.
Yeah, it was a 2-player.
You guys did Tales also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because I think you had originally dropped it off for a different MHGD, and then it was here, and I was like, you guys could do a 2-player stream of that. And so, I don't know. Anyway.
It was in the before times. It's hard to really remember anything.
Exactly. Anyway, so it was me, Wes, and Bob. We didn't play any of the like win condition shit. Like we didn't pick our story and destiny markers. We just said we're gonna play for 3 hours. Like we're starting at 7, we're gonna play till 10, and we're just gonna see what happens.
That's a lot of Tales of Arabian Nights.
Turns out 3 hours of Tales when you're just like doing Tales, you'll max out both tracks.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
All 3 of us came either close to or fully maxed out both tracks.
Yeah.
Yep. We also played it at the ideal player count too.
Yeah.
So
it's easily the player count that for the stream I could see 4 kind of working because like it'd be possible for me to occasionally type with chat or something and not be like, oh shit, you need me for book things. Let me do this. But it was a lot of fun. We had a sex change. We did not have any animal shape shifting. We had a pursued. We had a bunch of different beggared and robbed and poured and getting your incomes all fuckered up.
How many sites of wonder? What are those called?
1. I don't remember what they're called, but we had 1 of them.
Where'd you go?
We went to the Dusted Lands.
Okay.
Which are like where the Ifrits live.
Gotcha. I usually end up in the like Valley of Diamonds, or like there's the house with 1,000 doors and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is the valley the one with all the snakes?
I think it was. Yeah.
And then in mine, I attacked the snakes or something, and I killed all the snakes in the land or something like that, and got away with all the diamonds.
Yeah.
I think I became like almost the top rich level in the game.
I at one point was unable to move on land because I was like top wealth level where you can only move 2 on land, but like 6 on sea or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I got disfigured and wounded, which both reduce your movement by 2 or by 1 each. So it was like, oh, well, I can't move on land at all.
So question. So I would assume with how many house rules did you play with, or just straight by the book?
We played pretty straight by the book, I think.
All right. Because there's definitely like 1 or 2 of the conditions that are like so bad that I'm always just like, here's a counter of 3. When that remove 1 at the start of your turn. When that's gone, you are no longer that, because it is. And I specifically remember, because there are times when you can be like, okay, it is my turn. Adrian, you decide where I go. Jeff, you decide how I react to things.
Yeah.
And then you are not actually playing the game.
Yeah. So we had so Bob got enslaved as a condition, which I think is one of those. And you pick another player on each of your turns, and any wealth you gain goes to them and stuff like that. Yeah. And we didn't do that fully. We were kind of like, you can keep just playing yourself a little bit.
Right.
The biggest thing that we did immediately throw out in the starting quests, Wes got the starting quest of buy a slave. And we went, no, we're not going to play with that card.
Yeah.
We're going to just, this game is from like originally like 1980s, 90s.
Something like that. Yeah, the 3rd edition came out in the
09.
Yeah, 09. And they just, Z-Man just was like, okay, we're finally done with this one. Like the last reprint of it.
Yeah, they were like last printing, last publish.
No, there's definitely a lot of stuff in there that they're like, don't do this because it's historically accurate. And I'm like, fuck off, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did they say anything? Because we talked about this on the stream a little bit that we weren't sure. Did they mention anything when they said they were sunsetting this one? Are they doing a 4th edition? Because I think if you cleaned up some of the cards, made it more, socially conscious.
Yeah, I'll say,
and then threw an app behind it.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Yeah, you could get. It could be. If that happened, I would definitely rebuy it. But I don't remember them saying they may do another interpretation of it. We'll see. But that one is ripe for
a full-fledged app,
a like a remoderning. Moderning of it.
Sure.
So
updating, we'll call it
moderning.
So yeah, we streamed that last Tuesday, and then I played one more thing. I got in the mail just the other day, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, and Megan and I played that last night. Actually, I got it yesterday, and then we played it last night. It's Terraforming Mars Race for the Galaxy version. She was even like, did they work with the designers of Race for the Galaxy? Because like the fifth action for getting new cards is it's not number 1 like it is in Race for the Galaxy. It's now number 5, but it's the exact same thing. It's like draw 2, keep 1. If you played this tile, draw 3 additional, keep 1 additional. So draw 5, keep 2.
Yeah,
and that is straight out of Race for the Galaxy. Or
See,
like
they're able to get away with it though because I'm assuming it's stacked by Roman numerals. Roman are they, or is it number 1, number 2, number?
No, 12? I think they are Roman numerals.
See, for that one is a 1. The other one's it's an I and a V. They don't look the same at all, so it's fine.
It's clearly something entirely different.
Clearly something different. So,
initially I felt that it wasn't going to work when we were playing. It felt like it was already taking too long, and not building up. It was like it didn't feel as fast as Race for the Galaxy. It wasn't like, okay, it says 60 minutes, but I feel like this is going to be like a 90 to 120 minute game. And at that point, I don't think it will be short enough to offset just playing Race at a little bit longer playtime at like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
But then it ramps up. Really, once you kick into where you're getting like 2 cards per production phase, so you don't even need to ever play the draw cards phase. You're just getting new cards, and your production starts ramping up. Like I was flooded in money at the end. It ramps up a lot real quick. So it still ended. I think we were probably around 90 minutes, but that was a lot of like learning and unfamiliarity with how some of the things exactly worked in it. Megan won with 51 points to my 50. And then immediately after it was over and we started putting everything away, she was like, so I have a question. And I was like, yeah, what's your question? She's like, the standard projects, when we do the project thing, we can just do those unlimited number of times, right? So we could have spent money to bump heat, right? And scored more points at that end round. I was like, yeah, we totally could have. She goes, that's what I thought. I was going to ask you in the middle of it, and then I realized you had so much more money than me. You definitely would have won by like 2 or 3 more points if I had pointed that out. And I was like, son of a bitch. So she won with an asterisk of neither one of us used our money efficiently.
I mean, that just seems like a
win. I know.
Yeah. That is a guarantee. That's clear that we reviewed it and we're allowing it.
Yeah. I told her that was very devious strategy to intentionally not ask a question on the off chance that it would be yes.
Yeah.
And yes would make you lose. It's like, I will win if I don't ask the question. I will win if I ask the question and the answer is no. But on the off chance I ask the question and the answer is yes, I will lose.
Exactly. Yeah.
To ask or not to ask. So I liked it. It does take up a little bit of space. Not a ton though. Like we played on like the little section of this table. Like Megan's cards didn't even go past the halfway point, and we just were playing on the corner. So like somewhere slightly above a quarter of the table, maybe.
Gotcha.
And I don't think it would add much table space to add like a second or third player, because some of the table space for the board and the resources and everything, that's out regardless of how many players you're playing with. So, yeah, I think I liked it. I think it'll fit a little bit of a niche of I want something vaguely resembling Terraforming Mars in half the time. Or like when we go to Michigan with her family, like Terraforming Mars is a little too much for them. Whereas I think this would work. I think, this is simpler enough. On the other hand, for my personal tastes, there's no player interaction. Like the only interaction is the Race for the Galaxy style of like trying to anticipate what the other player is going to choose for their phase to maybe piggyback off of them a little bit. But that barely counts in my book. It's like you're free in this one to pile up a shit ton of greenery or a shit ton of other resources and never have to worry about somebody hitting you with an asteroid. Like, so that doesn't apply. The cards are all very familiar. If you're familiar with Terraforming Mars, they'll be like, oh, it's Demos down. Oh, it's greenhouse gases. Oh, it's, Zeppelins, all the same cards. It's a huge, huge deck of cards, for the project cards. Yeah, I it does some interesting things. Definitely feels very Terraforming Mars Race for the Galaxy edition. Like,
Shocking.
very, 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 they're lucky you can't copyright or
Mechanics.
yeah, trademark or whatever the case is for those. Yeah. Because otherwise they might be getting a call from Tom Lehman being like, hey guys, come on, man.
We're turning the card. We're not tapping it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I was just thinking about greenhouse gas deliveries. I was thinking like, well, what if it was HGH deliveries? Everyone on Mars is getting swole.
damn right. So that's all I played. Jeff, what about you? What did you play?
The only thing I played that y'all haven't already talked about was Jaws, the board game. I bought this at Target along with the Fast and Furious Highway Heist game and then the Marvel Villainous game.
Okay.
Because they had a buy two, get one free. And I heard Jaws was actually like pretty good.
Decently,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I broke it out at game night. It's a game of 2 acts. It's act 1, you're on the island trying to save swimmers
Okay.
as Jaws is eating, because that's his name, of course, or her name. I don't know.
Sure.
I think it's a her,
I believe it is.
because then her children come and start hunting
Sure do.
down. Yeah.
Sure do.
Yeah,
Almost
if you remember
100%
Jaws
positive.
4, The Revenge. So,
Yeah. With
Michael
Caine and the house that
The
Jaws
house.
4 bought.
Yep. Yep. I
It's
just
like, have you ever seen Jaws 4? This is a question to Michael Caine. He was like, no, but I saw the house it bought.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Act 1 is a little bit like, it's a hidden movement game where Jaws has like a little board, a little paper board thing with a map of the island, and you're doing your moves, and you can do your 3 actions, and you have like a once per game. You have like 4 of these once per game power tiles that you can use.
Okay.
And then you're going around and eating swimmers and becoming more powerful for Act 2, and also weakening the crew for Act 2.
Okay.
And the crew is kind of more like Pandemic style, where they each kind of have their own, like 2 little unique powers each. And then they also have like move and rescue swimmers. But like Chief Brody can like close a beach, but the beach has to be empty. So someone else needs to go before him and, like clear the beach out. And then he has to be at like the mayor's office or the PD. And then he can close a beach. And that's like a quarantine marker in Pandemic. So if a swimmer goes there, it won't go there and it'll just flip. Stuff like that. Because you're trying to keep the swimmers out of the water because the Jaws is eaten.
The shark.
But
man, it's the 4th of July and people want to fucking swim, damn
yeah,
it.
they don't care that like 5 swimmers just got eaten like last round. They're just going to go to a different beach. There's a little event card system that puts the swimmers out and has special rules for that like round. And then Act 2, you'll go onto the Orca, you flip the board over, it's kind of like this 2x4 tile area, and then you'll have 3 different spots where Jaws is going to pop up, and then you, as the player characters, you have a certain amount of gear and ammo and stuff like that, and you're trying to target specific spots and then Jaws, pops up.
Sure.
But you make your pop-up choice before they make their target actions.
Sure.
Yeah. Or else you just would go to the one that they're not at every time. And then like you're destroying parts of the boat. And in our game, we got the Act 1 ends when Jaws eats 9 swimmers, or you get 2 barrels attached to the shark.
Okay.
And we hit him on the first round, didn't hit him on the second round, and then hit him on the third round, ending Act 1 pretty early. Okay. But he ate the shit out of some swimmers. And there's some event cards that are like, if the swimmer death count is 3 or under, you put like more swimmers out there and stuff. So there's kind of some weird
catch-up mechanic type things, balance things.
Yeah. There's also like Brody's kid is one of them in the event card, and if he gets eaten, it counts as like 2. And then it's like, and then everyone has their own like individual gear, and then depending on how many swimmers the shark ate, you get a certain size pool of gear. that you can then split up to whoever can. Like there'll be things like a flare. If you shoot the flare at the shark, it'll take damage every round until like one of their like reveal cards has this like shake off accessory thing where it'll shake the flare off or something like that. But
All right.
he wasn't picking that one because it was like too obvious or something like that. So he was just kind of taking the additional damage. Well, because we were like, oh, he's just going to take this one because he wants to shake the flare off. So he'd go somewhere else and damage some other part of the boat, even though he'd be taking more damage.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was very interesting. We were really down to the line. Hooper got killed first. And then we just sort of floundered as he just kept destroying parts of the boat. And we weren't able to target him well enough to kill him. And it does use a die system for how much damage you do. It's like you roll a certain amount of dice, and there's like blank, single, double. So it's blank,
Okay.
1, 1, 2, 2 for how much damage. But
What's
each
the
one,
sixth side of it?
I thought you said blank, 1, 1, 2, 2.
You just said blank.
there's only one blank.
Ah.
So maybe it's 3 singles and 2 twos.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty sure. We didn't see much of the blanks though. We just sort of weren't able to kill him. Like the reveal cards that we were hitting him on, we weren't just getting the die rolls. We needed to do extra damage and stuff like that. So we just destroyed the boat, and then we lost. He got away with like 2 health left because he has like 20, or at least he did in that phase. And I think if you get more swimmers eaten, it's even stronger
That makes sense.
in the act
He's
2.
absorbing their power, so.
Yeah. Jaws is an anime. Did you not know?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Okay. Godzilla's an anime. Why not Jaws?
Exactly.
I'd be shocked if there wasn't some sort of Jaws
I
cartoon
would
back
be
in the day.
shocked as
Yeah.
well.
Some sort of Saturday morning cartoon about Jaws. I know Mr. T fights a shark one time, though.
Fonz jumped a shark.
That's the
That's
reason
spawning the phrase.
jumping the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jaws was surprisingly good. I enjoyed it.
Well, that's good because that's what we're going to stream this Friday. So,
Yes.
in
celebration of the 4th of July, because that's the holiday weekend that Jaws takes place over.
Yep. So it'll be the 3 of us and a 4th, probably, almost certainly. Jeff's probably going to be the Jaws.
Yes, probably.
Chomp, chomp.
Because it is hidden movement, so you don't always want someone not familiar to take that over.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I forgot, in Act 2, Jaws gets a bunch of like player power cards, depending on how many people he ate. So even though he didn't eat that many, he had like 7 individual like power cards. And those really fuck with you. So,
Okay.
it's neat.
Cool.
Jaws is powerful.
There you go.
Powerful shark.
What about you, Zach? Did you play anything else?
The only other thing I played was QE after Civilization on Wednesday.
Quantitative easing.
Yes. We played with 5 people.
Were there any immediate critical errors?
No.
Okay.
There was the bid started at like 30,000, and then I think the last bid was the one that I won, and I had bid 120, like 23,000 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
123,000.
Yeah. And so the person that what was annoying is that a lot of the like the 4-point companies came out pretty early, so relatively speaking, people were able to get them a lot cheaper.
Sure.
That as people started to become more and more desperate near the end, they were spending more money on worse stuff.
Yeah.
That
That sounds like actually the best case scenario for that game.
yeah. Well, if you were on the wrong side of that, it is not.
It's not good at all.
No, for the first, I mean, like we played with 5 people, so there are 15 companies. I want to say halfway through the second round, Wes and I still had not won a single one.
Oh, wow.
And so he ended up spending the most, and USA ended up spending the second most because of that, and they were able to win by like, I think it was 39 points, and then everybody else was 20. It was 27. No, it was 28, 28, and then 29. And then West was going to be 29. So everybody else was there, and the US, because they were able to get a lot of early, like big value stuff early, ended up taking it with 39.
Okay.
So it's still a real good game.
Who was first loser?
I was with 29. Yeah, but it was super close. Otherwise, like I said, Wes, even though he spent the most, was also in the same area as we were. And then I also just bought new markers for that game because some of those ones are not standing.
Oh, the dry erase.
The dry erase ones, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple games I need
with
to.
those, right?
It came with them, yeah.
My just one, like 2 of them, the caps didn't get clicked on all the way, and then it sat on a shelf for like a year, and they done dried out.
I'm sure I found my telestration box, and I am sure a lot of those. So I just instinctively, when I was buying the stuff for QE, I'm like, I'm just gonna get some for this game as well. So, but yeah, that's basically what I've been playing.
Cool. Well, that wraps up what we've been playing, and thus concludes this segment of board game action. We'll now take a fun little banter break where we'll talk about things like how my company's laying off like a fuck ton of people
in March.
Not immediately. Yeah. So Wednesday, like I mentioned, I was a little out of things, which I think affected my game of Civ, and then I left right after because I was just like, no, I don't feel like being here. Because earlier that day, like a couple hours before game night, my boss had called me and was like, hey, I need you to come into work tomorrow. There's going to be like a all staff meeting that you can't call in remotely for. You have to physically be present for an hour and a half. And you're going to meet with a bunch of higher ups and stuff. And I was like, oh, that
can only be good.
That sounds bad.
I think that's what you do when you look at everybody and you're like, hey, everyone's getting you promotions and you're getting all this much more money.
Yeah.
That's usually how companies like to do that.
Well, and it was one of those things where I was going to be like, if it was a good thing, I was going to be like, what the fuck, you guys? You went about this the wrong way. You caused everyone so much anxiety for 24 hours.
But then afterwards, you're like, yeah, well, they did it the right way.
Yeah. So yeah, they announced that they've secretly.
Well, and don't forget, all through this, you're riding off the high of the headphones that they gave you too.
Oh yeah, they gave us some great little fucking headphones. Some little like, I don't know, $30, $40 JBLs.
I think they were like 40, 50,
yeah.
I think, when I looked them up.
They're nice. I've actually been getting a lot of use out of them. They're not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
They sound fine.
True wireless ones are real nice.
Yeah, the battery life is a bit short, but whatever.
I mean, that's why they have the case that you can just charge them in.
Exactly. So. But yeah, so the meeting, they announced that like, oh, we've been secretly building a like Costa Rica facility, and we're going to move most all of your jobs there starting in March of next year. So on the plus side of it, they said that you'll get at least 2 months notice before you'll be let go. And then once you're let go, they're giving 4 weeks of paid severance plus a week for every year you've worked there. Mm-hmm. So if I get laid off, which I almost certainly won't, being in maintenance, it seems like our jobs are probably safe. But if I did get laid off, I'd get 6 weeks paid, which would be fine. I'd probably be like, all right, guys, I'm going to go to Europe for like 3 weeks. Or somewhere else in the world. I came home and told Megan, and she was like, so what I'm hearing is we've got a 6-week trip coming up. I was like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Just pump the brakes.
Jeff, we got some 2-player games.
Yeah.
So
I just picked up Watergate. And I picked up Watergate's.
I'm not the Watergate person. Adrian's the Watergate person that you remember.
Yep.
I got the Board Game Geeked Up, whatever the fuck they call their fancy bits for the game. I picked up the fancy bits. They make them for like the Quacks one is definitely the most popular recently.
What I got them for a Splotter. Maybe Food Chain or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's one of those stupid games on there.
Rude.
But you're safe for now.
I'm safe for the immediate future.
And like you said, they'll give you 2 months notice too.
Yes.
So you'll have time to.
So I would, in theory,
2 months notice to your 6 weeks of vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I would have like, a solid 3.5 months to find a new job. I'm not gonna wait until then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody from work knows that I do this podcast, so I feel relatively safe saying that I'm probably going to start actively looking for a job well before then, just because
They don't listen, but I tell them everything that you do.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
You just sent him a transcript.
Yeah,
Here's everything Adrian mentioned about the company in this week's
Yes.
episode.
Yep.
He gets paid quite a bit for that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Dude.
being a narc is profitable.
Dude, fucking share the wealth, man. But yeah, that's my main bit of bantery banter. At least it's not that is relatively like neutral to upbeat. Like
Right.
it dips a bit below neutral, but like I'm pretty okay with it on my end. It's not. I'm not one of the people who's worked there for 20 years on the factory line and has no other real prospects and is probably almost certainly going to get laid off.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the lady who was like, are you guys going to offer assistance with writing resumes? Because I haven't written a resume in a decade and I don't know how to do one. It's like, yeah. But yeah, because I'll keep the bummer stuff out. So does anybody else have any?
Yeah. So there was a Lego set that I was that I was looking forward to get. That got
typewriter?
The typewriter that got announced a while ago, and then
You're welcome.
yes, were you the one that let us know about that?
Yeah, remember I posted online I posted on Slack. Someone posted on Twitter that the VIP access for the typewriter.
Gotcha. I thought it was
And
Paul.
you were like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah, no,
And
I remember it was you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
said. Yeah, so it was supposed to. It's supposed to come out July 1st, but if you're a VIP for Lego, you got it 2 weeks early. You get a chance to buy it 2 weeks early.
And
so
are you a VIP?
Yeah, because it's free, and also
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was not a VIP until I saw that, and then I was. So
okay.
yeah, it was very much a like.
I just assumed because you had bought so much that there was no
No.
way you wouldn't be.
No, I only bought one other thing from them. So
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Like directly from.
yes, the other ones I bought like from Amazon,
I see.
or at their store. So
Sure.
but I got the typewriter last week, and then I was this past weekend I was like, now would be a good time to build it. So it was just over 3,000 pieces.
That seems like a lot. 3,000 pieces?
Wait,
That seems like not a lot in the grand scheme of Lego. I don't know.
Isn't the Saturn V rocket like
I'm so out of touch.
1969
It is.
pieces?
The Saturn V rocket is I still think is the best deal
Uh-huh.
because it's tied to, it has to be that amount because that's
the year.
the year for the rocket.
Yeah.
Everything else is like usually 2,000 pieces.
Okay.
So yeah, they're usually about 10 cents a piece.
Okay.
For these like super fancy, like specific sort of
I
ones.
remember reading an article about like how his grandfather had like a bunch of typewriters and that's why he wanted to create a Lego typewriter.
Yeah.
And there was this whole photo set of them in old timey like journalist outfits
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
with the typewriter.
They have some stuff on that in the beginning of the
So-
manual.
Is it a fully functioning typewriter?
No.
Okay.
No. So it is.
Is it a mildly functioning typewriter?
Yes. In the sense, it is what you would expect a Lego like model to be, in that you hit the keys and they push down, and then there's a thing that goes. It moves when you hit it, and then it sort of it moves from right to left, and then at some point you can then push it back, and it makes that noise, and then you can keep hitting buttons and it'll go down. But it
Doesn't type?
no,
There's no ink involved. Yeah.
the ink ribbon is just basically a long cape. It's the same material of their capes. So,
Aha.
but
Because it looked like you posted a photo of something else entirely,
Yes.
and somebody else posted, commented like,
Yeah.
"Oh, nice typewriter."
yeah,
and it looked like there was a sheet of paper in it that had
That
been
is.
typed.
I mean it was typed by them, that they're like, hey, you can put this in your typewriter.
Was it printed though? Probably,
Yeah.
not typed.
Correct.
Yeah,
So no,
Nah.
it was not typed at all.
it was
It was
typed.
typed by a
Like it was
printer.
like typed
That
in
is
like
not typing.
it was like typed in like Word or something like that. So,
someone typed out those
Yeah.
words
that
somewhere.
that is the biggest of all technicalities that I will accept, and it makes me so angry.
but so the previous one I bought from them was the Space Shuttle Discovery. Because I was trying to keep with the like space theme, but not like Star Wars, because I'm like that's gonna be a bad line if I get into
You mean
those.
Boba Fett's starship?
Yes.
They don't want to call it Slave One
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Specifically Lego
Lego
and Disney.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got that one, and that one took me like 9 to 10 hours to build. But I was like pretty, super focused. I had stuff going on in the background
Sure.
to do it. This one took me about 5.5 Fast and Furious movies to build.
Wow.
God damn.
I mean, it can't, that one came out to about 9 to 10 hours as well. But also, I was more actively watching those while I was building this.
Hard not to.
Yeah.
Because you got to watch every movie in the series every time a new movie comes out.
Yes.
No matter what.
No matter what.
So the next time a Godzilla movie comes out, you got about 3-4 dozen fucking Godzilla movies to watch now, don't you?
No, because it's a new timeline. So yeah, it's a new timeline.
Not
so it's
really.
fine.
He
Yeah.
just watches the current cinematic universe.
Yeah, the current cinematic universe. Yeah. No, it's
And
like
Shin Godzilla.
when I would do Doctor Who, I would just start at the new Doctor Who. I wouldn't go back to the old shit.
You're missing a lot of context.
I am missing a lot of bad visual effects is what I'm missing. But no.
You say bad, I say hilarious.
So yeah, and it was cool. It unsurprisingly building the mechanics to have the typewriter thing of the I think it's 27 different things for the buttons. That was very tedious.
Okay.
It was like build these 3 things 9 times each.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh god damn it. And then it was just like, all right, now I'll do this and it was 32 times to get all the buttons together. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying. But it was still a lot of fun. And it works real cool. And then, I was watching the Fast and Furious movies. So that was fine. Gotta
get ready.
Gotta go 9. That's out
Fast
now.
9.
So
I know.
now
Why haven't we seen it yet?
I remember Paul was just like, does anybody want to do this? And then just silence. And I in the back of my mind, I was like, I gotta fucking watch. I bought the 4K 8 movie collection of it. I wasn't gonna not fucking watch those before the movie.
Does the Westminster location open tomorrow?
No, it opened up on the 18th.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's open.
It's already open. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I need to start keeping an eye out on movies then.
Yeah. That's where I'm gonna go watch it. I mean, that's where we got tickets for Black Widow.
I know.
Yeah.
Ugh. I might just tell Megan to.
Yeah.
She's on her own if she doesn't want to go. Because what was it? There was some reason why I was like, I cannot go watch it. Oh, I might be out of town. It might be when I'm in Wenatchee.
You could see Air Force One
You could.
or Austin Powers
Pass on both.
or West Side Story from 1961.
Anyway, definitely pass on that. Hard pass on that.
And then I've also just I've continued to be watching the Dimension 20, the D&D show that I was watching. And what was funny is that, so I started watching their third main season, which is this one is called A Crown of Candy. It's basically like Game of Thrones, but what if everybody was like made out of food?
Okay.
Yeah. But I got like 5 episodes in, and then I realized that they had a side show where they do like talkbacks of like talking about the shows. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll watch it. And I want to watch the first one. And they're like, all right, well, I just want to let you guys know that all this other stuff has aired and you should watch, like, we may give some spoilers on that. And I was just like, God damn it. And I looked and I'm like, fuck, I got to go watch 20 plus 2 hour plus length things in order to, so I don't spoil myself. And I was just like, God damn it. And I just recently finished all that stuff. So I'm back in on it. But that's it. That's all I've been doing.
So I feel like you must have sent me a clip or something from it. Or like you got me watching Actually a little bit here and there. Actually I struggle with because a lot of the time I'm not nearly nerdy enough. So I'm like, I don't fucking know the answer to any of this shit anyway.
Right.
But my YouTube recommendations, the like little shorts that they do is just full of Dimension 20 shorts. Like watch Brennan die inside a dozen different ways. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm here for that. I'm definitely here for that. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Jeff, what about you? What do you got for banter?
Oh, I got to fill at least another 20 minutes of just banter. Boy. I watched the Formula One races. It's a triple header. So every weekend, the last 2 weekends has been a race. They were in France for one, which is usually legendarily like the most boring. It was not.
No, because there was a big accident or something, right?
No, it was just that there was like actual competition happening.
Were you thinking of
No,
Tour
not
de
the Tour de
France.
France. I was not.
Okay.
But I felt like there was an accident in both.
No.
But maybe not.
No,
They're not
I
big.
want to say in France there was. I don't think anyone even retired out of the race.
Oh.
No one DNF'd.
Was there in one of the other races recently in F1? There was some kind of a drama about something caused somebody to not finish or had
that
to fall-
happens a lot. But that did happen this last weekend in like turn 3 of the first lap. Someone hit someone's like rear tire, but like it also broke the suspension on the tire. He got to like the pit lane with basically only 3 tires, but they had to immediately retire the car because the rear left tire was completely fucked.
Okay.
And then another guy like broke off part of his front wing against someone else's. Another guy had some like hydraulic issues. But that one, this last race was a little more boring because the guy that was in first stayed in first the whole time, and then that was it.
Lane.
Well, but it's a different guy than like the last 4 years, so it's
Sure.
actually pretty exciting now.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other guy's been just getting like second place.
Loser. First loser.
Yes, first loser. 44 million a year. First
Jesus
first loser there. That's the kind of money you make when you're the greatest Formula 1 driver of all time, I guess.
There you go. There's a new job for you to go to after you
Absolutely.
listen through him.
Just go through your karting career
Yeah.
when you were a small child, and then you'd be there, let's say a decade ago, and be retired or dead by now.
See, this is like helping my like vague existential dread that set in today where I was like, this is probably pretty close to the best life ever gets for me.
All right, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, his of course is just way behind him. That's, I guess,
Yeah.
his thing.
Yeah.
Well, you're not Rick yet.
No.
No.
I'm also not an interdimensional like time traveling super genius. So.
Yet.
Yeah.
There is no there.
I mean, to be fair, you could just be, what was it? Was it Doofus, Rick?
Yeah.
You could be Doofus Adrian. So like the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
one of you are like super dimensional, interdimensional scientists, brilliant geniuses, and then
Just Doofus Adrian.
So
Just
Megan
Doofus
and I were
Adrian.
having a conversation very similar to this, where like, you know, if there's like
what?
not Doofus Adrian, not Doofus Adrian.
Okay.
But similar, not the same. We were talking about like, you know, if there's actually multiple universes, whatever, like, you know, almost certainly like I'm doing like, there's got to be one where I'm like rich or famous or something. Like this isn't like the best version of myself, right? And Megan was like, no, like I know this, like I'm not the best version of myself. And she's like, and I was like, well, doesn't that make you kind of sad? She's like, yeah, of course. Like I wish I was the best version of myself. I was like, okay, but how about this? What if this is literally the best version of you across all the multiple universes? This is the best you could do. And I was like, because that is a thought that plagues me all the time. And it is just soul crushingly depressing that that there might not be an Adrian who's like super successful or super wealthy or super, you know, whatever. And that,
but if
this
that's
is the
true, you
best.
could at least just be like, well, it's not my fault then.
Hey, I'm kicking ass. I'm the best Adrian.
Yeah, I'm the best Adrian.
Maybe you're the only one that's still alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Every
guarantee
other
there have been
Adrian is
several
still in the
Adrians
Navy.
that ate a bullet
Yeah.
or something.
Didn't make it.
No.
Oh,
Those submarine bullets.
Yep.
I've seen Hunt for Red October.
yeah.
There's you don't shoot in the missile room, man.
Yeah. Then, like, if just think of that, infinite possibilities. There's still a chance that there's a chance that you accidentally called World War III and just ended it. You were just on a submarine. And you're like, boop, whoops, oh shit.
I don't. Just because everything is, no, that's not how infinite timelines work. Not everything happens.
Everything happens because anything can happen.
Not anything can happen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is no way for me to ever cause World War III from my time on that submarine.
In that universe, the submarine is designed to where you can just hit one button and it just launches it.
I guess, okay, maybe you're right.
You can't prove that I'm wrong, and that's what counts.
But maybe in that universe, maybe I never even made it on the submarine.
Well, that's just a different universe.
That's
We're
just
talking
a
about the universe that you did.
Yeah. Pay attention, Adrian.
Jesus.
Oh, good shit.
So I watched some Formula One races.
Yes, sorry.
I got the new TV. Have I talked about the new TV?
You have talked
little
about
bit,
the new
yeah.
TV a
Okay,
little
I got
bit, yeah.
I got the new TV, and it's really awesome. And the box is huge, and I still haven't thrown it out yet because I need to break it up into like very tiny little parts to be able to fit into our recycling.
Yep,
That
I
sounds
feel
right.
that pain.
And my other roommate was like, "You don't want to keep the box?" And I was like, "Where the fuck are we going to keep a box this big?" First of all, so it is going in the garbage. New TV is real nice. I watched the Mandalorian episode, The Jedi, because I knew it had HDR, and I remember it looked real good, and it did look real good.
Nice.
And I don't know, been working. We had a big work party Monday, which is super cool. It's
Yeah.
been our first. They called the Monday Mingler. It was the first. Well, we had a little memorial service party for someone a month or so ago, and then this has been our first. Like, just the tap room is closed. You get to drink whatever the fuck you want.
That's pretty awesome.
Your bosses are pouring you the beer. You hang out and just hang out, and that was why we didn't record on Monday,
Yes,
because I had that.
correct.
And I was like, fuck recording. I'm going to this.
Don't blame you a bit.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Cool.
Got to hang out. I remember to put sunscreen on. I don't think I got any sunburn. I don't know.
You don't look burnt.
I know,
you do.
but yeah,
I can't tell the shadows or no. There's a little tan there.
Yeah.
I'm just probably very dirty
Also,
from work
probably
today.
fair.
So one of the overnight packaging guys destroyed like 240 cases of beer, or at least knocked them over.
And just left.
Yeah, because it was the end of their shift, so they had to go home, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice, Jeff? To just be like, it's the end of my shift. I'm just going home.
It would be nice. It took most of the day to clean that up. We'll see how much is salvaged. They had put the pallet on the angle iron, which spaces the pallets away from the wall, but they had put it on top of that, not knowing it was on top. But then they put 2 more pallets on, and they were leaning far forward, but not enough to fall over. And then they put the rest of the stuff in front of them, and then they noticed it was leaning real bad, so they took the stuff away from in front of it, and by that time the pallet had broken, and then it just careened forward with all 3 pallets.
They should have just tried to catch it. I think that would have helped.
Yeah, they probably should have.
Just like, God, I wish they would have. Let me get some new employees, please.
Well, this is a packaging person, so it's not under my purview. Oh, but the packaging just continues to destroy things. Like, they destroyed one of our 2 doors we can go into the cooler with, like, weeks and weeks ago, and we're still waiting for them to make the new door. Because, like, they don't make that door. It's, like, specialty made,
Sure.
so, like, thousands of dollars. One of them just backed into the electrical box that controlled that already broken door.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
What else was it being used
Yeah,
for?
nothing. Yeah. And then caused a huge disaster in the fucking cooler.
So, is Avery's cooler like Epic's cooler was, where it's always just packed as completely full as
No,
possible, and you have to move everything out in the sun for several hours in the middle of the day?
No. It has been extremely full very recently, but that's because of our contract brew with Founders doing their all-day IPA. It was actually like 80% full of just Founder stuff, like not even our product. But we have a whole offsite warehouse that we just keep with stuff.
Refrigerated warehouse?
No.
No.
But not all beer needs to be refrigerated.
Sure.
IPAs and stuff, hoppy stuff, definitely. But we don't have that over there.
We talked about this, the hot IPAs. Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, the hot IPAs. But yeah, the offsite has a lot of like the packaging materials and stuff.
Okay.
But like the hoppy stuff, you can't do that with.
Sure.
So, but like, let's say a Belgian white, it's going to be fine. But the cooler's a little emptier now. So we're pumping stuff out the door.
There you go.
It's always that, and we're totally fucked by all things shipping. Like the whole world has been.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So it's hard.
Will be for a while.
Yeah, so it's hard for us to get trucks to get things places. So it sits around and fills up the cooler and makes you insane for like a week. But it's a little better right now. It's better right now.
There you go.
There's just enough space to put the stuff they're going to be making for the next 12 hours that I'm not there.
Perfect.
And then I get to clean it up. But hopefully, not from the ground
Right.
this time.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other?
We talked about the CIP process. Were we recording when we were talking about the
Yes,
CIP
it was in the
process?
beginning.
It was in the engagement period.
Yeah.
Okay, in the engagement period. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I was learning a little bit about the sellers, and it was cool.
Right on.
Gotcha.
Any other last bantery things anybody's got that's super exciting?
Not super exciting.
Okay.
I keep buying board games that I'm not playing.
Sure.
I bought the Initiative.
Yeah.
Micro, Macro.
Keep it up.
Yeah. We're at least we're going to play Jaws.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
one I bought.
There you go.
There you go.
Glad it turned out to be good
Yeah.
enough to stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watch the new Rick and Morty. It was all right.
I have not watched the second one. The
I have
first
not.
one was good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that lets us move over to some news and Kickstarters then.
Yes.
Back to the board game stuff.
First up in news, Asmodee, Asmo, Walmart, and Amazon have teamed up legally
Yep.
to sue the pants off people that are counterfeiting their board game.
A person specifically in this
Yeah.
case. But it is
Who
at
was
least
dumb
a start.
enough to put his name on the thing.
Oh, no.
Yep. So Mr. Samuel Katz, doing business as Crazy Leaf and Gig Trading Incorporated. It's basically a lawsuit that they sold counterfeit versions of two different Dixit expansions, Daydreams and Revelations. According to the filing, Amazon got a shit ton of complaints about counterfeit versions. They looked into it, and turns out that, yeah, they were counterfeit. So they, this is all dating back, like, at this point,
December 2019.
December 2019, yeah. So it started a while ago, but Asmodee North America did a test purchase from them and found that it was counterfeit, but it had all their trademarked logos and icons and art and everything, and so they laid into them. So
It looks like it includes, 4 claims for trademark infringement, 2 for false designation. Yeah, go ahead.
For false designation of origin and false advertising and violation of Washington's Consumer Protection Act. So maybe this is a start to Amazon cracking down on counterfeits, because that's been an increasingly large problem for a while now, which is weird. I would think board games were niche enough that there wouldn't be a lot of money in counterfeit board games compared to counterfeit other products that have much more mass market appeal and might be harder to trace.
I mean, from what I've read in the past, it's just sort of the same factory that's making that original version,
Rolls off a couple.
After hours, they just put in the cheaper materials and just keep going
Yeah.
with the cheap materials, and then they'll just sell them themselves.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know, because I've always assumed they moved those off to other people who are willing to sell known knockoff counterfeit type stuff. It's a multi-step process.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's no good way to force the factories to not do that.
You just have someone there watching.
Mhm.
But, people aren't in China watching the factories.
Exactly.
They're just getting the shipped overseas samples, weeks later.
Yep.
Be like, yep, keep making it, I guess. Oops. All right, we fucked up. Well, I guess everyone's screwed now. And we won't be reprinting these cards that are bad.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see, if anything, big comes of that, but at least a little bit of counterfeit crackdown.
Gotcha. And it looks like Stonemaier Games posted a thing about counterfeit games too last year. That might be worth reading into to sort of see what they found as well.
Yeah.
And then,
Like right now or for
No,
later?
just this is something someone posted on our yeah.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
in the chat.
Yeah, I'm interacting with the chat, man.
Oh.
And that's
Chat
it has
got covered for me when I pulled up the news and Kickstarter.
Ah.
yeah. That is definitely what Wish is for.
Yeah. That's why it's so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Next up on news.
We have Gloomholdin, which is a handheld Gloomhaven, fan-made,
Yeah.
but also Cephalofair approved.
Yes.
Cephalofair? Cephalofair.
Yeah. So it is a no table needed shrunken version of Gloomhaven. 18 card, just you play it all in your hand. Just that's it. There are supposedly not many spoilers. There's like a whole little bit where
It's
the
a,
guy
well,
talks
it's,
about
it's a
spoilers.
whole, it's a whole.
Different thing.
The classes are the only
Yeah.
thing that could be spoiled, but they
Yeah.
are. But there is no story. It is all original scenarios for this.
Yeah, he says you'll see the names and art for a number of monsters and items from Gloomhaven, but that's about it. Gloomholdin has its own plot line, so you won't be spoiled by any of Gloomhaven's campaign details. So yeah.
It is also technically no table required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gloomholdin. You
Yes.
hold it in
Not
your hand.
yeah, not gloom tabling. So
Apparently, he does have table rules available.
Sure. That's good.
yeah, this entire thing is a free print and play that you can just check out. You can check out now if you want.
Yep, it's over on BGG, and they got a little buy button where you can just
click
buy it for
click
free.
on some of the
Oh, it's-
images.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to click on buy.
God no.
It's just files.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just little deck of Gloomhaven stuff.
Yeah, because you got little maps there that are sizes of the cards. You've got so enemy. Yeah,
It's 18 cards.
18 cards for the entire thing.
Whoa,
Character sheets.
pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah,
Hold it in
Yeah.
your hand.
art design's pretty good on it too.
Yeah, he said he got the thumbs up to be able to use like actual Gloomhaven
Stuff.
assets.
Yeah.
Yep.
For this.
But even still, the ability to use those, it looks like they use them very effectively.
I agree.
So, because it still could have looked bad, but I think
Yes, it could've.
Yeah.
it definitely could have.
But it didn't, which
But
is
it
probably why we even know about it.
yeah,
100%. So yeah, that's Gloomholdin, little free print and play of small Gloomhaven
Yeah.
side project, fan project.
Yeah.
Thing?
fan print. Yeah,
Fan project.
So yeah, there you
Fan
go.
project that's not getting shut down by
Yes.
Nintendo.
No kidding. Last up in news.
Last up on news, Arkham Horror LCG is getting a brand new core set.
no revision.
Kinda.
Yeah,
It's not really brand new.
no, it's a revised a core set.
it's basically so you don't have to buy two anymore.
yes.
So, we'll skip past the what is Arkham Horror the card game. I feel like anybody who listens to this show is well aware.
It's a card game about Arkham Horror.
Exactly.
There we go.
It's cooperative.
Yes.
It's an LCG.
Yep.
It's in the name.
All of those things are true.
Mm-hmm.
So what has changed? To be honest, nothing about the game has changed.
Nope.
This core set is just a new core set to get people in. It includes everything you need for 2 to 4 players to play an Arkham Horror campaign. It does pull some other cards, more advanced cards from some of the early expansion sets that just gives players a little bit more option when they level up in the base game. But if you already have bought and own everything Arkham Horror, like some of our friends and fans and
Nightmare people.
have done, you don't need to buy this. You do not need to buy this. This is just a new jumping off point for people trying to get into Arkham
Jumping
Horror.
on point.
Sure.
It's not really a jumping off point, but you're about to
Jumping
ride.
in.
Yes, jumping in point because you are about to ride the train of I have spent way too much
See,
money
I
on
meant
this
like
game.
you're jumping off the diving board into the deep end of the Arkham Horror
Yes,
universe.
it's where all your money is.
Yeah.
And then they just keep shoveling the money out.
Scrooge
as-
McDuckian.
Yes, but it keeps going away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're just taking all of the money and putting it in their own Scrooge McDuckian vault.
Yes, that is about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they've made it even easier for you.
Sure have. Which actually this, makes it to where you don't have to buy 2 base sets.
Yeah.
So they're actually doing their part to take less of your money.
Unless you want the character cards with the new art. That's literally the only change.
Yes.
They have the exact same abilities, but there's new art.
Ooh.
Malibu Stacy got a new hat.
There's also some, they've changed how they organize things in the box to make it a little bit easier, making it simpler to find specific cards and things. And then some other quality of life improvements, such as numbered resource and clue threat tokens and a lead investigator token. So
Yay.
Yay.
there you go.
Unending
And it looked
thrills.
like the box was probably like Marvel Champion size.
I have no idea. Yeah, I could see that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
one
it
way or
too
the
won't be
other.
able to hold your collection for very long.
No.
Yeah.
Then you'll just need to buy the big box when they come out with that in 5 years.
Well, Marvel Champions already fucking needs one, all right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Big time.
I'll tell them that they can get more money by putting out a big box.
Yes. Desperately.
Desperately.
I've been looking at Etsy for like special dividers now.
I haven't opened any of the expansion characters yet.
They don't
Just-
fit.
Yeah, just because I'm like, I have nowhere to put these, so I'm not even going to worry about it right now.
Yep.
Fantastic. Moving on to some Kickstarter.
Yes. First up on Kickstarter, we have Valor and Villainy, Lludwik's Labyrinth.
Yep.
Very well funded, $304,000 of its $50,000 goal. Over 2,600 backers. About a week left to go, with its most popular pledge being $135.
Yep. So this probably technically qualifies as your $100 miniature game, $100+ miniature game of the week. We haven't really been following that segment lately.
Remember what $100 used to get you on Kickstarter?
I know. It used to get you like the full-on massive all-in pledges.
Yeah.
It's great. So this is a sequel to Valor and Villainy. What's the fucking first one?
It's down.
It's right here.
Oh.
Minions of Mordok. I've got it pulled up
Yeah.
here for other reasons that I'm going to come back to.
Which you can buy now.
Yes.
So
Yes. So the first version, Minions of Mordok, was a 1v all like dungeon crawler fighty monster game.
gotcha.
Full of minis and stuff. Very, Mansions of Madness-esque. Valor and Villainy is a co-op adventure version of this with a hint of legacy. It is standalone, so you don't need the first version to play, but it is cross-compatible with it. It plays 1 to 6 players, fully cooperative, and it takes about 25 minutes a person is what they say. The campaign, they really, really, really repeatedly stress that it's a funny board game. Hilarious narrative, and other little things like that. Comedic multi-choice events. They keep hammering home that this is funny and lighthearted.
I mean, what I know about humor is that repetition is key. So,
Indeed. And explaining over and over again why it's funny
yeah.
is also helpful.
Yeah. That's why dissected frogs are hilarious.
Exactly. The legacy aspects, it's a campaign, and basically you unlock different boxes and things. It's non-destructive, so you can put everything back and reset, or you can keep the legacy decks and things that you've built to play some free play versions of it if you want to. It's got a bunch of.
So you said it's legacy style campaign, but you don't destroy anything.
So it just sounds like it's a campaign.
Sounds like a campaign.
It is definitely just a campaign.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what they're saying
I
on the
understand.
Kickstarter.
I'm still gonna get mad at you for it.
That's fine. I will take that blame.
Okay.
Bunch of minis and stuff like that. Now here, as we work our way down the Kickstarter, this is the part where I can't help but give them a bunch of shit.
Okay.
So they have this thing here, praise for the first Valor and Villainy. 8.0 on BGG they got right there, which it's a 7.9, a little bit of variance. Maybe they rounded up. Maybe it was 8.0 when they launched this. I don't know. Whatever. Minions of Mordok, right here, this little line, ranked top 18% of all games. All games.
Oh.
So if you click over here to Valor and Villainy, Minions of Mordok, it's overall ranked top 18%. That's a fancy way of saying we're ranked 3,678.
Look, they're not wrong.
They're in the top 5,000.
Top 5,000.
Just, it sounds more impressive when you say the top 18%. Then
it does.
Then, we're not even in the top 3,000.
Mm-hmm. It's all about presentation.
It helps that there are tens of thousands of games
Certainly
on
does.
BGG.
Most of which are hot garbage. But yeah, had to give them a little bit of shit about that. They got graphics here of like, if you happen to have the first one, I'd never heard of them. So
nor I.
So a lot of this is meaningless to me, but they show like they've got way more stuff in Labyrinth, 8 heroes versus 9, and 8 in the original, 9 in this one, 5 villains in this one versus 1 in the first one, 600 plus cards in the new one versus 230 in the old one. And then they go into a bunch of other stuff. I was looking at the reviews for the first one on BGG. People were really praising the mini quality. That was like the one universal constant, is everybody was like, the minis are really good. The rest of the discussion, there was it seemed to go widely from like 9s and 10s to like 5s.
Right. But it seems like this one is a different. I mean, it seems like it's different than the first one, going from the 1v mini to cooperative.
Reminds me a lot, aside from the fact that they don't mention any app support things. So unlike Mansions, but like Mansions went from 1v all to fully co-op, and it was a great change. And
the app became the one, basically.
Which this doesn't have an app. It uses decks, like automation decks for the monsters and the bosses. But yeah, their painted versions look fucking sweet.
They do.
But also like it's not a style I would ever go for. Like they look really well. I'll admit they look good, but it's not a style I'd ever really want to go for. So.
I mean, I definitely was a little interested in this one, but I think it's just one of those things of like, I think I would get it and then just not play it. And I'm like, damn it, I don't want to keep doing that because I've got enough of those.
Especially not at over $100 pop.
Exactly.
So.
Now the 135, what do you get with that?
So the 135 gets you, that's the premium bundle. It's the best deal, supposedly. You get the deluxe edition. You get the Antagonist's Arsenal expansion, which can be used to combine the two really well, and it can be used with either one independently as well. And you get the premium token kit. So all of the cardboard bits and stuff get upgraded to, fancy plastic bits. So those are the three things you get for $135.
Is there what is the $200 one?
$200 is a retailer pledge, and that is so the 135 is the highest pledge. I don't think I saw any option to get the original through this.
You can $70.
Is it just an add-on then?
Yes.
Is it $70 for the
it's
Kickstarter or deluxe edition?
The deluxe version of the first standalone game in the Valor and Villainy series. It has Kickstarter exclusive stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say
from it
because there's I saw the original one in the store and it was like $40, and I was like, this is cheap.
Yeah, I want to say like their standard retail for this is like 60, so 40 makes sense.
Yeah, so maybe not as much Kickstarter exclusive shit.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
they're still revealing minis and stuff, but yeah,
and he's got a nice insert.
It's Game Trace. They're fucking everywhere now. So
that mini looks real nice.
Yeah,
it's good how they're all going to be painted just like that.
If only that was how that shit worked.
Only what was it? I can't remember the name. Mechs versus Minions. There was just like those
they
minis
came washed at least.
Well, the Minions came washed, but the other ones came fully painted.
Oh, that's right.
And full and well painted too. So I want to say Cool Mini or Not had some like robot battle game that had
GKR.
No.
Giant Killer Robots.
No, that wasn't them. But it was something else that they had pre-painted minis that also looked real nice.
Gotcha.
Tokens look nice though.
Yeah, the tokens look nice. A lot of stuff looks real nice.
Yeah.
Just the game itself does not interest me at all.
So much. Even though I just got a bonus at work, I'm like, oh, that's still a lot of money.
Well, it can be yours for $135-ish.
Yeah, indeed. Last up on Kickstarter.
Last up, we have Scarface 1920. Another very well funded, $607,000 of its $62,000 goal, about 4,500 backers, about 2 weeks left to go, and you can pledge this one for its most popular pledge of $166.
So $100+ miniature game of the week, part 2. So Scarface 1920 is a competitive mafia board set in 1920s era Chicago. Basically, you take on the role of one of 4 gangs vying for control of the city. You have your gang leader, and then a whole bunch of your gang, your crew, who all have different abilities and things that they go out and do running around the board. And you're just kind of competing to take over the entire city. It's got a whole bunch of different aspects and components, like that you're spreading out over Chicago. You can build buildings and flip things and create nightclubs. You can control the police. You can fight the police. You can fight each other. You can take over territory. It's kind of all over the place.
Can we pull the city strings?
You indeed you can.
Okay.
Right up here. Pull the city strings.
Is there anybody that we should be watching out for?
You got to watch out for Mr. Ness.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's Elliot Ness, and he's leading the feds, trying to crack down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But hey, Chicago, yours for the taking.
Oh, that's good to know.
For only $160.
I like their pizza.
It's okay once in a while. It's not
It's not your day-to-day pizza.
No.
I'm not eating Chicago-style deep dish unless it's fucking leftovers for multiple days in a row.
Yeah.
And there will be fucking leftovers.
There's always leftovers. Yeah. So
unless it's Pequod's, and then I'm eating that whole fucking pizza.
Exactly.
Because it's very good.
Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, there's different gangs. They all kind of have different like niches that they fill. They're think largely kind of based off of maybe real gangs. I'm not
I was
sure.
gonna ask. Yeah. So what are the different gangs?
So the first one is the Seven Gems, led by Arnold Rothstein. They are
Arnold the Brain.
The Brain.
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to brevity, soul of wit. They're all about banks and politicians and controlling like sports betting and stuff. I don't know if it'll actually play out that way.
Gotcha.
The North Side Mob are the Irish, ran by Dino Banyan. They are all about rum running and prohibition, alcohol, boozing.
Gotcha.
Then I must have scrolled past.
Then there's the game board.
There's the game board. Oh, see, they must have cut some of these out because I feel like they
might be
definitely had
after
all
that?
4 of them, or it didn't load. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it just didn't load. I have it on mine.
Okay, yeah, because it looks like there's a big white blank, like right there.
Yeah.
Where
is it the Black Wolves?
The Black Wolves and then something else. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's not super
The Chicago outfit?
And that's the one
important.
with
The Chicago
Scarface,
outfit
right?
with yeah, that's like supposed to be Al Capone, I think.
Yes. It's named even Alphonse Capone.
Yep. Yeah, there they are. So the Chicago outfit, Al Capone and his crew, they control the authorities.
Oh, okay.
And then the Black Wolves gang, ran by Stephanie St. Clair.
Gotcha. So
they control the
okay.
streets.
Gotcha. So Scarface is Mr. Nimbus.
Sure.
Was that his name?
I don't know.
Mr. Nimbus?
Yeah. He controls the police.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
This is correct.
That is 100% accurate. So yeah, that's
There's a solo mode. There's a bunch of add-ons for minis.
tons of stuff.
You can get wooden crates for the goods
Yeah.
as your
That-
token
that-
holders.
yeah, might actually. Oh, well, I was gonna say because I think that like your trucks that also drive around town carrying your bootleg liquor, I wouldn't be surprised if they made little
Mhm.
wood blocks you could set
Gotcha.
in the back of those for crates. But
It seems like the goods that you transport are barrels and guns.
barrels of booze and lots of guns.
Just guns. And I feel no, these I was trying to be like, that gun is period appropriate, so
yeah, I think most of the
Gotcha.
guns I saw, I didn't see any that were glaringly not
Yeah.
1920s esque.
Cool.
Indeed,
yeah, if you want to play a gangster game and pay a fuckload of money.
sure can,
Holy fuck, are you gonna pay a lot of money?
and no guarantee that it's good.
No guarantees. I
It
want
looks kind of cool though. Kinda.
May 2022.
Sure doesn't surprise me.
Was there a thing? The rules were there. Was there a tabletop simulator?
I didn't notice one, but I could have scrolled right by it.
There
This is a very
there is a
dense
rule. There is a
Kickstarter.
rule book. Oh, and I forgot to mention on the Valor and Villainy, there is like multiple tabletop simulator
Versions of the original.
linked on there.
Oh, okay.
The original and the new one. It's like the first 4 acts of the campaign are in there.
So, well, there you go.
So that one you can try before you buy,
Sure thing.
because the minis are probably just as real on Tabletop Simulator as they are in real life right now.
Probably.
Yes.
Like most miniature Kickstarters these days.
So right on. That wraps up news and Kickstarters. I don't think there's any listener feedback.
Nope.
I was looking. No emails. No Paulo's
there might be
Corner.
BGG.
There's a BGG.
There is a BGG.
Yeah.
All right.
And once again, that's Guild 2731.
There you go.
You did it.
Yeah. So this one is on our episode 233 in a Civilization live stream.
Mhm.
Phil asks, is this going to be on YouTube after the fact? I don't think I'll be able to stay awake to watch live, as being UK based, your 5 p.m. is past my bedtime. It's a great question, Adrian. Is this going to be on YouTube?
You know, at some point in a...
As we go towards the heat death of the universe, yes, it'll be on there.
Yes.
In some multiversal future.
It is, the point at which it will be on YouTube is vastly closer to today than it is to the heat death of the universe.
You know, most things are, to be fair.
It is vastly closer to the building of the pyramids than the heat death of the universe.
Yes, but also are most things.
Yeah.
It's vastly closer to the dawn of man
Yeah.
than the heat death of the universe.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the amount of time that has passed versus what the heat death of the universe is going to be is like a lot of zeros, 0.1
Yeah.
or point.
So why don't we start with the beginning of the universe?
Yeah.
Is closer.
No, I mean,
because it's
the
only
heat death of the universe is going to take a
exactly
really long
No,
time.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the beginning of the universe.
Beginning of time.
Is closer
closer
than the heat death of the universe.
Yes.
So yeah,
And as is the release of this episode on YouTube.
there you go.
Okay.
All right.
It will happen before the heat death of the universe. Actually, you know what? I honestly can't.
I'm gonna hold you to
I
that.
can't promise that.
So any day now.
Any day. I'll say the goal is to get them on there.
Yes. No, I meant to get to it today and then I didn't. But days when I work, especially, I'm going to try and be better about making sure to upload a bunch of videos so that while I'm at work for 12 hours, my computer is just chugging away using all of my fucking data from Comcast
Perfect.
to upload.
You know what would make it even faster if you cut off some of the beginning and end?
Yeah, except that takes a long time too. Because then I have to process it, which takes forever, and then upload it, which takes forever.
Yeah.
So, don't know about that.
Well, you can't edit the front 20 minutes of nothing from YouTube videos. So,
Yeah. We'll see. That is it for listener feedback.
That is it.
If you would like to get a hold of us, there's a bunch of different ways to do so. You could send us an email.
emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can follow and tweet at us at MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
I am Jeff_MHGG.
We have an Instagram account at MHGameGuys. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/MHGameGuys. Website, also another thing I need to actually functionally work on. So for now, go to punchboardmedia.com and search for Mile High Game Guys or MH Game Guys or MHGG. I think
the first and the third one would get you there. I don't know about that the middle one. But
yeah, I don't remember how much we've switched stuff over on that.
find out for us.
Sure. And then let us know with an email or something.
This is broken.
There's links over on the episode post we make on Punchboard Media, though. We do include links to all of the news and Kickstarter items that we talk about, as well as links to things like our Slack channel, if you want to join and talk all kinds of shit in Slack about games or,
Arkham Horror.
if you want to catch, like near play-by-play updates of Boyd's Tahoe vacation and make fun of him when he falls, out of a kayak or when a bear crawls in his car, or any of the awesome things that apparently happened on this trip.
How about a picture of every car he saw at the car museum?
Sure thing.
How about his son kicking his mom's sandal off the side of a mountain?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you want updates on Boyd's vacation, which sounds more exciting than any vacation I've taken in at least a year, you can do that in the Slack channel. That's what the Slack channel's for.
Yeah. Also, just talking about an electrician. Don't know which one. No context. Just an electrician. And complaining a lot about them.
And how they left lights off and broken.
And mentioning how, no money you were paying that person.
Mm-hmm. Zero cost electricians are known for breaking lights.
Yeah.
It's part of the cost. You can also join our guild on BGG guild number 2731, where there are weekly posts now with what game we're going to be streaming on Friday, as well as a place for you to comment about either the game we're streaming or that week's episode or any kind of other feedback you want to give on BGG.
And whenever we would do like top 10s or Q&As, those will go on there to add feedback to. So
Yep. Exactly. Where you can share your lists or share, ask us questions for Q&As, things like that. So always good to follow us on the guild. And then last but not least, jump over to our Twitch channel and follow / drop a free Prime subscription maybe to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MHGameGuys. We stream these episodes when we record them, so you can get a behind-the-scenes look. All the stuff that gets cut out, you can see if you watch it on Twitch.
Or you can watch an ad about the Forever Purge or whatever the fuck that movie's going to be.
Yep, whatever the newest Purge is, that is probably going to be real dumb.
I think it's supposed to be the last one too. So
it looked
Thank
like it
God.
looked like it took place in the Old West.
Great.
Maybe it's not the first Purge, unless
Time-
there was like an older Western Purge.
Sure.
Well, there was, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
that was just history.
Yeah, that was just kind of historical.
Yeah.
They were really purging, huh?
Sure. Or.
That Andrew Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
big fan of the Purge.
He was a
I'm
terrible
glad you didn't
person.
just stop after the second
big
word.
fan. Andrew Jackson, big fan. Yeah. Thanks for not stopping there, Jeff.
He's not going to be on the $20 bill for much longer.
He
though,
can't
right?
be.
Like,
We got to get rid of him.
I want to say there might be already ideas in place.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people say Harriet Tubman should be on.
Yeah.
I
one
mean,
of
there were
our
ideas
currency.
a couple years-ish ago, and then some particular person was like, no. So
Can't imagine who would have
you
shot
know what?
that
Him,
down.
big fan of Andrew Jackson.
Oh,
yes,
for sure.
Yes, yeah.
Didn't he have like his fucking photo up or his portrait
It
up?
was,
For,
wouldn't be surprised.
Was it the bust? I don't remember.
No idea.
Either way, we're good.
Regardless.
Andrew Jackson, bad dude.
Yeah.
Correct. That's it for the episode. That's the note we're going out on, is that Andrew Jackson, bad dude.
It's the hot take.
Yep. Thanks everybody for listening. As always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm done, Jeff.
Bye.
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 Where we all
Bring something
to the table.
pull up a chair.
At punchboardmedia.com.